서쪽 날개주 West Wing Week.
Welcome to the West Wing Week, your guide to everything that's happening at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. This week, the president traveled to the Republic of Korea to attend a security summit, where he also visited the DMZ, held a series of bilateral and trilateral meetings, and gave a major address to students at Hankuk University. While back at home, the new year of the kitchen garden got underway with this year's first planting. That's March 23rd to March 29th, or I've got Seoul. On the first Friday of spring, and with the Rose Garden in full Technicolor splendor, the president announced his nominee for the president of the World Bank.
It's time for a development professional to lead the world's largest development agency. And that's why today, after a careful and thorough search, I'm nominating Dr. Jim Kim to be the next president of the World Bank. I think I can speak for Secretary Clinton and Secretary Geithner when I say that we are looking forward to working with him.
That evening, the president set off on Air Force One, bound for the Republic of Korea. And on Saturday, the president was still traveling, crossing 13 time zones, one continent, and the Pacific Ocean. Air Force One made the 6,945-mile journey, or 11,177 kilometers for the metric folks. The president landed early Sunday morning Korea time for his third visit to the Republic of Korea as president. His first stop was the demilitarized zone, the border separating North Korea and South Korea. He met with American and Korean troops serving on the Korean peninsula and saw North Korea firsthand.
You guys are at freedom's frontier. When you think about the transformation that has taken place in South Korea during my lifetime, it is directly attributed to this long line of soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardsmen. We're grateful to you. We're proud of you. And I hope that all your family back home knows how proud your Commander-in-Chief is of you.
In the afternoon, the president sat down for the first of many bilateral meetings during his Korean sojourn with Prime Minister Erdogan of Turkey. Next was a bilateral meeting and a joint news conference with his host, President Lee of Korea, at the Blue House, where they consulted on goals for the Nuclear Security Summit and reaffirmed our strong alliance and relationship. Then, they sat down to dinner, capping off the first of 3 historic days in Seoul. On Monday, the president marked the beginning of the 2-day Nuclear Security Summit with a speech, laying out the central purpose of his visit to the students of Hankuk University of Foreign Studies.
So our shared future and the unprecedented opportunity to meet shared challenges together is what brings me to Seoul. Over the next 2 days, under President Lee's leadership, more than 50 nations will mark our progress toward the goal we set at the summit I hosted 2 years ago in Washington, securing the world's vulnerable nuclear materials in 4 years so that they never fall into the hands of terrorists.
The president then sat down for discussions with the presidents of the Russian Federation, Kazakhstan, and the People's Republic of China before marking the official beginning of the 2012 Nuclear Security Summit. This was the second edition of the conference after the 2010 Nuclear Security Summit that the president convened in Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, back at home and halfway across the globe, the First Lady was just getting started with her day, her week, and the 4th annual kitchen garden planting on the south lawn of the White House, with help from students from North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Iowa, and Girl Scout Troop 60325 from New York. Meanwhile, back in Korea, the summit was now in full swing, with the first plenary session underway, and then a break for the so-called family photo, with the leaders of the nations participating in the Nuclear Security Summit. The president stood alongside the presidents of Russia and Kazakhstan for a trilateral announcement on their progress on a joint operation to clean up the STS nuclear test site in Kazakhstan. He then met with Prime Minister Gilani of Pakistan before bidding farewell to the Republic of Korea with a final goodbye to U.S. troops there, thus beginning the 15-hour journey eastward toward home. On Thursday, the president spoke in the Rose Garden and called on Congress to end the billions in taxpayer subsidies that goes to the largest oil and gas companies.
They can either vote to spend billions of dollars more in oil subsidies that keep us trapped in the past, or they can vote to end these taxpayer subsidies that aren't needed to boost oil production so that we can invest in the future. It's that simple. And as long as I'm president, I'm betting on the future.
Later, the president did an interview with Clark Kellogg of CBS, stopped by to meet with members of the International Red Cross, and spoke to the Cesar Chavez Champions of Change, who represent communities all across America. To find out more information on any of these topics or to see complete videos of these events, go to whitehouse.gov. And thanks again for checking out your West Wing Week. And remember, Sunday is International Make Things Dance Day.